Hello friends, this is tutorial number 48 in this C++ programming language tutorials. In this tutorial we will create one application with cars. A car will have couple of fields. It will have brand, color, year of manufacture, and it will have a price. And we will create couple of cars and we want to compare it. We want oldest car, newest car, most expensive, the cheapest one, or we want some specific brand or color. And how can we do that? We can do that by two ways. We can create a class, and it can be object, and we can do that by using a struct. Okay, there is both ways have some advantage, disadvantage, but let's create struct. We will do it by using struct, and let's create struct car. And in this struct let's create couple of fields. String, it will be brand, and we will also create field which is model. We will need a year of manufacture, but we will just put a year. Also we can create color and the price, which will be an integer. Okay, this is our struct, but as we already told, inside the struct we can have functions, and if we want to have to display all elements of the struct, we need to use function, but it needs to be outside. We can define a function. It will be void function, and we will call it car scan. And inside we will need a car, struct car, it will be car C. And let's write all of these fields. It will be, first we want to write a brand, and we will need a c.brand. And line. Now we will need model and variable c.model, and the next field is year of manufacture, but here in the text we can use year of manufacture. And we will write variable c.year. And now we need a color, and variable c.color. line. and we have a price left. Now we will write it, price, and it will be c dot price. Okay, this is one of the difference when we don't know what we will use, or we will use class or we will use struct. The difference is we created a function outside the struct because we cannot have a function inside, and with this function we can display a car that we will select. And now in the main method let's create a couple of cars. It will be, we can create 6 cars, variable car or struct car, and variables will be, it will be C1, C2, car number 4, car number 5 and car number 6. We will have 6 cars. But now what we need to do, we need to define all of these fields of each car, and this is one of the disadvantage of the struct. Now we will need a lot of lines of code, but let's define. We will define one car, and we will use after that copy paste, and in the next 5 cars we will just change the values. We need C1 dot brand will be Fiat, and now we need a model. It will be Punto, and now we need year. It will be, no, it's not string, it's integer. It will be 2002. Now we need a color. C1 dot color will be white. And now we need price will be 1500. Okay, and we define our first car. This is our struct. We define struct car. We define C1. This is our variable, and we define all of these fields of these structs. And now we will create other cars, but we need to use edit copy. And here we will use paste, and we will paste once more. This is 3 cars, and now we will copy these 3 cars. And I delete it. But okay, I will use paste once. And now I need to paste second time, and I will have, now we will have 6 cars, but they are all same, C1. And now we need to change the values. Here we need to type C2, it will be car number 2, and let's change the values. Brand will be Volkswagen. And it will be battle. Year can be 1970. Color can be blue. and price. This is an old-timer, good old-timer. Price will be 10,000. And now here, let's change. Here will be car number 3, C3. And let's create brand will be Toyota. Model will be Yaris. It will be newer one, 2015. It's okay. Color can be yellow. And price, it can be 5,000. 5-year-old car. Okay. And now let's create fourth car. This is one of the advantage of the struct, because each field we need to define separate. We don't have constructor as we have in the object class and object, of course. And car will be, let's create one Yugo, famous Serbian car, model 55. Okay, will be older one, 1995. They are most red color. Price will be 500 because, okay, 1995 he is not old-timer yet and doesn't have big price, but it's a great car. Many will talk about Yugo. I don't know that this car sucks, but no, not at all. Pretty much economic and cheap. Cheap for, okay, not for reparation. A lot of cheaper than Audi or BMW or I don't know. And let's create now here brand will be German car, Warburg, and it will be 353W, famous model. Year will be 1975, one more old timer. Color will be red. And price, okay, this is great. Old timer will be 12,000. Okay, if you want to drive a Warburg, you need to pay. And now let's create, okay, we have different brands. Okay, we can create one more Toyota. If you ask me if I like older or newer cars, I'm fan of old-timer. And okay, the best Toyota for me was Carina number 2. A year, they are in the beginning of the 90s. I will put 1991. Color can be gray. And let's give some price. Okay, still not old timer, but will be soon. Price is 2000. Okay. And I forgot here here in car number 5 and 6 I forgot to change. You need to be careful when you use copy paste about this. You can forget to change the values that or variables that or some text that you need to change. Okay, and now we defined all of these cars. Okay, the difference is when we compare it with class. In the class we can define a constructor and we can define easily C1 car, C1 equals, and we can write this in one line of code, and this is big advantage of class when we compare it with struct. But struct also has some advantages. The point is here, as you can see, we have when we create a car, we just create the fields, and of course you can use this advantage in the object. You can create all of these fields public, and it will be better. But you can, but by default you can. Because it doesn't work like that. You need to create these fields private, and it will be more difficult to iterate when we put all of these cars in the vector. And this is what we will gonna do. We will not use array, we will use vector. But we need to include vector, and now all of these cars we will put in the vector, but we will need to create one vector. Let's create a vector. It will be vector of car, and we need a name of this vector. It will be cars. We can just type, we have cars, maybe it will be better. I will call it cars vector. Okay, and we define our struct. Now we need all of these 6 cars to put in this vector that we made, and let's do it. Cars vector, and let's push back car number 1. Now we can use copy paste, edit, copy, and I delete it again. Now I need to paste more times. When I delete, I don't have intention to do it, but it happens, and I believe that also happen to you when you want to copy something. But when we click on copy and we delete it, it's not a big problem, because we can just use paste and the problem is resolved. Now here we just need to change. Okay, now we put all of these cars in this vector, and now we can just try our application. Let's call this method, this function that we create, car scan. Now let's scan some car scan. We can try to scan car number 1. Of course, let's try to build and run. We will see if we have some errors. Okay, we don't. Here is our car. Brand Fiat, model Punto, year of manufacture, color and price. This is good. Now let's close this and let's delete it. We will want to print all of cars, but we want to create some menu. We want to create some menu, and we can, in this menu, we will choose what we will have a couple of options. Or we want, of course, maybe we want to display all of these cars, or we want to display some specific car, or cheapest, most expensive, oldest, newest, give me Toyota or red color, I don't know. And now let's do it. And it will be select one of the options. And line, and let's create options. First option will be all cars. We'll just write all cars. This means if we select this option, we want to all of these cars. In this case we have 6 cars. We want to display all of these cars. And another option will be the cheapest car. Let's continue. Option number 3, it will be the most expensive car. Let's continue. Now we want the oldest and the newest. First we will write the oldest car. And now we will write option 5 for the newest car. Okay, we have cheapest, most expensive, oldest and newest. And now we want some specific color or brand. Okay, we put 2 Toyotas in this vector. And we created, of course, 2 Toyotas. Let's write option brand Toyota. When we select this option, we want that just a car with brand Toyota to be displayed. And option number 7 will be red color. We'll just, or car with a red color. It doesn't matter, you can write red color car, whatever you want. And we need to select, okay, but to select we will need the variable. Okay, here I will create variable. It will be integer entry. And here we will type input entry. And now with this entry we need to select option, but of course we need to select. We have from number 1 to number 7. Okay, and this will not be inside. We can, but okay, in this case I will not. We could put these questions inside the loop, but in this case we will not do it. But before these options, maybe it's better to put couple of stars. And to not forget end line. And now what we need to do, to select options, we need to define entry. First, what we need to do, if this entry is if we select, we type 0 or negative number, or we can maybe we will select one of the options that not 7. We can use, the point is we can use or control statement if else, or we can use switch case. Maybe in this situation it is better to use switch case. Let's switch the entry. First we will need case number 1. And let's create break. But first, what I want to create is default, but let's create these options. We have 7 options. Now we can create case and break. Case number 3 and break. Case number 4 and break. Case number 5 and we have case number 7, and let's break it, and we will need default. Okay, here we will not have loop, because we will not have a loop. We will just write a message, out. It will be bad entry, and try again. Okay. And now we just we can see if it will run properly. Of course, if we select, okay, we have select one of the options, because of this we didn't resolve these options. We just can type number 0. If we type number 0, bad entry, try again, it works fine. We can try with number 8, which is great. And of course, if we select one of the options, nothing will happen, because this is because we didn't define our switch case. We didn't define cases. And now, but this we need to define it, but this video also now it has 30 minutes. I think that we need to take a break. Okay, and we will continue shortly with this in the next tutorial. Okay, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You have a link in the description, and we will continue shortly with with next tutorial. We will continue with this application.